Every single review just gives you a bunch of different features and you are still absolutely confused which is the best choice for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you just the very specific features that you actually need to pay attention to understand which is the best choice for you based on your specific case. And on top of that, I have some discounts and crazy bonuses if you use my affiliate links, so check out all of the links in the description. When it comes to Flodesk automations, it has some of the basic automations out there like freebie delivery, nurture series. However, honestly, it's lacking quite a lot. You don't have any advanced conditions, you don't have multi-trigger workflows, no split testing, no page visited tracking, no e-commerce triggers. It's really only suited for very simple sequences and some nurture flows, and that's it. So honestly, I would say even maybe a 5 to 6 out of 10. By the way, I have created a document of 50 best growth hacks used by the biggest marketers out there. Check the link below. When it comes to interface, it's honestly very simple. It's very clean, very intuitive. It's extremely beginner friendly because, as I mentioned before, it doesn't really have a lot of automation features, and I will discuss some other things as well. But because it's lacking a lot of stuff, it makes it super simple. So it's a 10 out of 10. There are some other softwares that I would say are maybe as simple as this, but they have a lot more features. By the way, I created a blueprint for the best business model out there, so check the description. When it comes to landing pages, one thing to note is they do have very beautiful landing pages, very beautiful templates. And this obviously depends, it's subjective. I'll show you later a bit how the design looks. But it's easy to customize, but it's limited to the flexibility of how much you can actually customize. And there is no A/B testing, no advanced analytics, none that kind of stuff. So you'll have a few templates that look nice, but if you need something a bit more, it really doesn't provide it, hence it's only 6 out of 10. When it comes to forms, there are some, again, very beautiful templates. This might be subjective, but they are very modern, nice looking templates. And it's great aesthetic for creators, actually even different fields. However, the customization again is very light, and there's no A/B testing, no more advanced features, so it's only 7 out of 10. When it comes to newsletter designer, again, when it comes to the visual aspect, it's very nice builder. It has some gorgeous templates with typography, layout options. However, it just doesn't have some advanced features like no dynamic content, no A/B testing for content, none of those basic type of things that you really actually need for your email marketing software. Hence, it's only 7 out of 10, even though visually it does look very nice. When it comes to e-commerce, it integrates with Shopify and other platforms via Zapier, so you'll need to pay extra if it's other platforms. You have some basic purchase tagging, but no native abandoned cart recovery, no product recommendations. Really, it's lacking a lot. It's only maybe like a 5 to 6 out of 10. So, unique features. First of all, they have unlimited everything plan, and I'll show you in a second what that exactly means. But this is the one thing that why this software really is popular. And then also I would say another feature that's a little bit standout feature is that what I mentioned before, they do have a lot of great looking design templates if you like that specific style that they provide. When it comes to Flodesk pricing, it's very interesting actually because they have these 3 different options. But the one thing you have to understand, the free plan, it's actually just to grow. You can't actually send any emails. You can only collect emails and that's it to grow your list. But when you start collecting emails, you want to start sending emails right away. So it doesn't even make sense, honestly, to go with this plan. I would never suggest it. There are better softwares that provide free plans. And then you have the Pro, and you also have the Everything. And with the Pro, the really interesting thing here is usually it's based on subscriber amount, but here there's no subscriber amount. It starts at $38
and that's the only option. It doesn't go up as well. It's unlimited emails, unlimited subscribers, unlimited workflows, and this really kind of depends. So here they have this basically thing where they show you, okay, no matter how many subscribers you get, it's going to cost you the same amount. And they say if you have 25,000 subscribers, on average is $75, which I think actually it's a lot less. If you're using something like Sender or MailerLite, you're actually going to be paying less than $38. It's going to be cheaper to start out, and they actually even have free plans as well. So you can actually start out much cheaper. Where it might be interesting is if you start getting more subscribers. If let's say you have 10,000 subscribers, now you're still only paying those, if you're doing monthly, $38 a month. And here it says average $250, but actually I would say if you're using Sender, MailerLite, it's going to be somewhere around like $100. But that's basically around one third of this price. So it is a lot cheaper if you have a ton of subscribers. And obviously if you go more and more, it's going to be great. But this is again just for kind of like, as I explained, other feature just for the basic stuff. And if you want to go with everything plan, this includes payments and checkouts, sales funnels, selling products, basically all of these sales features. And that is $64 a month. Again, the same type of principle, it's not going to change. However, I would say that keep in mind that the sales pages, the funnels, all of the stuff is very basic. So most likely you will end up getting a separate software that does all of your sales. You don't want to rely on just selling using Flodesk, and that's it. So who is Flodesk best for? Honestly, it's only really best if you're going to send a lot of basic emails, and that's it. You don't care about all the automations, advanced segmentations, all of these more advanced features like the landing pages, the forms, and all of that. And if you have a huge list as well, as I explained with the pricing, if you have a small list, it doesn't really make sense. But if you have a big list, it's only $38 a month. So you're going to save a lot of money if that is your goal. However, I would say that honestly, if you get a software that's going to have a bit more of automation features, it's going to have maybe A/B testing, so you can increase your conversion rates a lot. You're going to make so much more money. So I would advise honestly to invest a little bit more money and get a different software, because you are sacrificing all of these automation features that can really grow your business a lot.
When it comes to Brevo automations, they have most of the basic stuff that you will need, and one thing I do like is that they also have some pre-built automations. Nothing crazy, just some of these basic things, but pretty much you will find everything you need, like the multi-trigger workflows, emails open, page visited, if-else branching. It combines basically marketing, transactional emails. So it's nothing crazy advanced, but it has all of the basic stuff you will need. It's an 8 out of 10. When it comes to ease of use and interface, it's pretty clean, well organized, clear navigation between email, SMS, and CRM features, if this is what you're going to be using, and I'll discuss this later as well. I would say it's slightly more technical than MailerLite or even ConvertKit. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10, but it's still beginner friendly. For landing pages, they have drag and drop builder. They have all the custom sections, countdowns, product embeds. There's A/B testing included in higher tier plans. I will say it's an okay drag and drop designer. I'm not crazy about it. And the templates are sort of okay as well. So it's somewhere between 7 and 8 out of 10. When it comes to forms, they have all the embeds, pop-ups, triggering automations. It's easy to set up. Design-wise, customization is not super advanced, especially that if we compare it to dedicated form tools, but it's still pretty decent for email marketing software. It's an 8 out of 10. For newsletter designer, it's pretty smooth drag and drop builder. Nothing too crazy. I would say I like some of the other drag and drop builders a little bit more.
It does support some personalization, conditional visibility, dynamic content. There's A/B testing for subject lines and the message content, but it's really somewhere between 7 and 8 out of 10. When it comes to e-commerce, you have integrations with Shopify, WooCommerce, all of these. There's a good amount of different integrations. They have features like abandoned cart recovery, product recommendations, purchase-based segmentation. It supports transactional emails, SMS, and WhatsApp notifications, but I'll tell you more about this when it comes to pricing. In general, it's not too bad for a software that's not specifically made for e-commerce, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10. When it comes to AI features, they have AI assistant for subject lines and copy generation. Predictive send time optimization is in beta now, so it's not as advanced as some of the other tools that have been doing this for a long time. And there's no AI driven automation creation yet, so it's just a 7 out of 10. Some unique features. So first of all, they have this sort of email, SMS, WhatsApp, and a chat all combined together. However, I'll show you in pricing what that means as well, because unless you go with crazy expensive pricing, it might mean that you're actually not able to use these features. So most likely you're actually only going to be able to use the email and SMS, which is something that most of the softwares provide one way or another. Another unique feature is that they do have built-in CRM and deal pipelines. So this is something that's unique and you don't find it on as many email marketing softwares. But again, when it comes to pricing, I'll show you need to pay extra for this. And they do have some advanced contact scoring, reports, things like that. Again, that's kind of part of the CRM.
Brevo pricing is honestly kind of strange and pretty annoying. So first of all, they actually have this free plan, and it's even 300 emails per day. However, this really has basically no features. So honestly, as a free plan, I would not advise to go with Brevo. There are way better free plans with other softwares. Now, you are going to go either with the starter plan or the standard plan. And there's the professional. I'll explain the difference and what you really need to understand. First of all, the starter plan, this is why I don't understand some of this stuff, is because you get very basic features. So for example, if you will want email marketing automation, which you obviously will want, if you will want A/B testing, all of these super important things, advanced email reporting and all of that, none of that is included in the starter plan. You will need to go with the standard plan. So that's something you need to understand. Another really thing that I don't really like is that they don't charge per subscribers, but they charge per emails sent. So it kind of depends, obviously, like how many emails you send. Maybe this is going to make sense for you. But so let's say if you have 10,000 subscribers, 10 emails per subscriber, 100,000 emails. And this is on the low end. You can definitely be sending way more than that. So for this, the price is $70 a month, which is not bad. However, keep in mind, again, you might hit this threshold. So this might be, when you reach whatever, let's say 7,000 subscribers. And another thing here is you have branding. So if you want to get rid of that, you'll need to pay additional $12 a month. And then if you want the sales features, so sales automations, pipelines, all of this, the chat bots, all of these things that are more unique, this is additional feature. So in here, as you can see, you will need to be paying $31 extra per month. So that's $112. One thing to note here as well is if I'm going above it, I need to switch to the standard plan. And as I said, the standard plan is this one that really has all the features that you will need. The starter plan, I don't think it's really plausible to work with that. So in here, let's say if I choose 100,000 emails, that's going now to be $130 a month. So the price increases quite a bit. And as I said, it might be somewhere between 100,000, 150,000. So this is $170.
depending how many emails you're going to send for the amount of the subscribers that you have. Again, if you want all of the sales stuff, you'll need to add that as additional, then it becomes $200 a month. And if you will want to go with the professional plan, where this is where you really get a lot of stuff. So as you can look, additional marketing channels like the WhatsApp, pop-ups, mobile push notifications, contact scoring, advanced e-commerce features, AI segmentation. Actually, these are really important features, and some of these features you get on other software normal plans, but here you need to go with professional, which is $500 per month, which is absolutely crazy. So in here, it starts from 150,000 emails, and that gives you that costs $500 per month, and then there are some upsells here as well. And they do have, by the way, their SMS marketing. Let me see. So they have prepaid emails, but this is pretty expensive, honestly. And you have the text messages depending on where you're sending. So here it's like 10,000 is $109. Also WhatsApp, but again, you need to realize that you will need a specific plan to be even able to use this. So who is Brevo best for? It can work really for any business as a general email marketing software, but really I would only suggest it if you really need some deal pipelines and you want the chat. But also I did show you that you need to pay extra or go on this crazy expensive plan. So there might be also better options for you of actual CRM tool or all-inclusive tool. But this is the only reason I would say that maybe I would consider going with this software. So that's just one thing to consider.
By the way, I have also made an ultimate video comparing all of the different softwares, so go check that out, link in description. And don't forget, I have special discounts and crazy bonuses if you use my affiliate link. So if you enjoyed this, check out all of those links.